starting a business. Everybody wants to start a business these days.
Everyone.
You know, and you know, I read a statistic that says that in the UK, 95% of businesses are micro businesses. So that's like 0 to 9 staff. But really and truly, that really means a one-man band.
Yeah.
You know, let's be real.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is that's causing everyone to want to start a business?
I don't know. I think a lot of the lifestyle people want to live.
Yeah.
People are not enjoying work, number one.
Yeah.
I think everyone wants to be their own boss. So, like we were talking about earlier, it could be ego. I also feel that when it comes, especially to the black community, we don't have enough businesses. So it's needed. There is a need for us to create more businesses and build more wealth. I always tell people that one of the main reasons why there's so much black unemployment is because there's not enough black businesses. And so it's one of those things where I think with all those combined, I think that's why.
So for me, I think people think it's a way for them to make money.
Which it is.
You know, and I think we're in this sort of generation, like you said, you know, where everybody wants things quick, fast. So they think, okay, let me just set up a business. It's going to take me a year, you know, maybe 2 years, if that. And then I'll be making my millions and then that's that.
Yeah.
And then they soon quickly realize that it doesn't work that way at all.
I hear you.
Because there's trials, there's tribulations, there's things they need to learn. And sometimes I just feel like it's not for everyone.
It's not.
And do you know what was weird? I went to an event the other day, yeah, and you know everyone's in this finance. Well, you know, there are a lot of people in this finance scene, innit? And a lot of those people were saying, "I'm not interested in starting a business," which I found weird because I'm only around people who want to start businesses.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I think it's important to know whether you should start a business or not.
I think also, like you said, if you're in finance, you need to start a business. If you're making enough money employed and it gives you the lifestyle that you want and you're part of a good team and your work value, why would you want to take the risk of starting a business?
I hear that.
Not having a payday, not knowing when you're gonna. Why would you want to take all that when your work is giving you everything you need?
So do you feel like business is the answer to a lot of the problems we have in our society, especially in the UK?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think the heart and the mind of people is what needs to be changed. I don't think even if people do create businesses, when you win, all of a sudden the real you comes out, and as you start to
is
make
that
money,
the real them, or
as in they move away. I always tell people, if you're not a nice person, it doesn't matter. It always reveal itself.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It always come out. So for me, it's the heart and the mind of people. And we need to become, especially as a community, we need to definitely be more united and work together. But we can't do it if only a few of us have this unity mentality, but the majority have the self-preservation mentality.
Well, from a very sort of like practical point of view, if we look at the UK, you know, it's built heavily on intellectual property, services. You know, it used to grow potatoes, that wasn't working. So they're trying this whole business thing. So from a practical point of view, we need business.
Definitely.
We definitely need business, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I would argue that business is important from a UK point of view.
Definitely.
And if sort of like expressed the right way, it could make a huge social impact.
Yeah.
I guess the problem is not everyone cares about social impact.
Yeah, and then also, but then you think about it from that side. The other side is that how many businesses fail.
Yeah.
The majority of businesses fail.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those ones, yes, we need business, but at the same time, we also need learning, we need people, we need education, we need support. We need to be able to get access to money, access to lending, access to investment, access to technology, access to workspaces.
Do you know, I always find that whole statistic on businesses failing interesting.
Why?
It's skewed, isn't it? Because there are a lot of people start limited companies, they become a director all of a sudden. I'm CEO of X corporation.
Yeah.
They don't do anything, then taxman comes and then they're charged £100.
Yeah.
And then obviously they close down that business because they realize they're not ready for business.
Yeah.
Did that business actually start as a business?
Okay.
So it's kind of skewed in some way. So let's say, for example, there were 1 million people starting a business in the UK.
Yeah.
How many of those million actually start?
Yeah.
You know,
true.
That's one thing.
It's
you
true.
know, we would need to assess it that way. And I think for me, the other thing I've been thinking about really is, I don't know, like, are we sort of promoting sort of like entrepreneurs to just get up and do it? Or do they need to have more of a sort of knowledge-based approach, you know, go over plan, strategy?
But I think also when you think about it, like from the other side in regards to like Dragon's Den or startups, you find that a lot of these investment capital companies, when the majority of the business they invest in fail. But it's the one that does well that makes up for it, and you don't know which one's going to become the Netflix.
You just don't know
which one's going to become the Moonpig, and do you know what I mean? So you've just got to invest and hope for the best and do your calculations.
So I was going to say, like, what about? Do you think it's important to do? Like, do you think it's important to set up a unique business, or like, what's your thoughts on that whole unique business thing?
Nah, I think I get why people do it, but let's not change the wheel.
Why do people do it?
Why do people do it? Because you want to be different.
Yeah. It comes to ego.
You want to be able to tell people that there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I'm the first, like, or I'm the first in the UK. Or, do you know what I mean? And
or the first black one, or
you
whatever
understand,
it is.
whatever it is, and you want that extra buzz. Like, not only did I start a business, I'm the first to do it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the time is when you're thinking about a business, I always tell people, think about your personal experience. What is it that you don't like? What bugs you on a regular basis, and try to solve that.
It's problem solving.
Yes.
That is the number one thing that I tell my clients. It's about solving problems.
Definitely.
And if you have a certain skill or experience that allows you to solve people's problems in a big way, then you will make money. You'll definitely make money. Or at least you'll be seen as an expert. You just need to work out how to make money. So that becomes a skills issue, such as like selling or marketing or whatever it is, you know. So I think, you know, when I see a lot of people starting a business, they try to go for the big gun straight away. And the biggest thing that they fail to do is plan.
Yeah.
Just like we spoke about before, you know, they fail to plan, you know, because do you have to do a business plan? It depends on the person, but I think you do, you know, because 25-page business plan, executive summary gives you an overall arching idea of what your business is about. Marketing plan, nobody has a marketing plan. They think their only marketing plan is Instagram. That's not the only thing. There are so many things you can do.
Definitely.
There's speaking, there's obviously PR stuff, there's paid ads. A lot of people are scared to pay because in their mind they're thinking, I'm going to lose money. But why is that a problem? Because that's going to be the only way you learn. And even if you are scared to lose money, you can pay for someone else to do that for you. You don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to bootstrap all the time. But obviously I understand there's what's the word? Some people don't have that choice. Do you know what I mean? You have to be. I know myself. Do you know what I mean? That's how I've been able to be resilient. But I think sometimes people disregard these opportunities or options because they're like, oh, I have to spend money. But they're willing to spend money on a holiday that they can't afford.
I hear you. But then talk to me about, when we're talking about starting a business, and we're talking about the community and being black.
Of course.
What do you tell your clients when it comes to the stigmas that are attached to black businesses and poor customer service or too expensive, or
of course,
how do because it seems like we're our own worst enemies. We're already setting barriers for any new business before it starts. Barriers that we don't put on, or demands that we don't put on other communities and other businesses.
The way I see it is, if you remove black and just add business, that's what you should be focusing on. You shouldn't be thinking black business. You should be cognizant of it, but you're a business at the end of the day. So my view is you need to focus on being the best of your niche or topic or whatever it is as you can, because if you don't do that, then you get sucked in and you start sort of enacting those stereotypes that come through as a black business. So that comes down to really understanding your ideal customer, really understanding what niche you're actually in, modeling from your competitors. If you can find black counterparts who are doing really well in your sort of niche, you need to understand what's working for them. Do you understand?
But when you say ideal customers, I always get, I don't know, think about it, because I say to myself, okay, people focus so much on your ideal customer, and obviously that's the majority of that type of person will be coming in. Of course. But do you still cater for people that are not your ideal? Do you still look after them?
No, of course you do. But all the ideal customer is a gateway. That's all it is. It's a segue. So you always have to find a point at which you're going to enter into the market. So in order for you to enter into the market, you need to think, who's the most ideal person that is most likely going to get my stuff? And whilst you're figuring that out, everyone else is just going to start following you. Then you'll start realizing other stuff because you're collecting data. And that's why I think a lot of business has to be data driven. Even if it starts with observing what other people are doing in your industry as the data, trying what they've done, and then you gathering that data to say, actually, that's not actually true based on what I saw, but this works for me. So let me follow this path a bit more, and then you'll see whether your ideal customer was actually that person or not. Okay. So it's not like one of those things that are set in stone. It's one of those things that you start with. So it's almost like you have to be very firm with the direction, but adaptable in your approach towards that direction, if that makes sense.
And when you speak to clients, how led do you tell your clients to be by feedback?
What do you mean?
Because you get customer feedback, but obviously you've got a plan, you've got a goal, this is how you want to set your business, it's working. But obviously people are always going to tell you, oh, but you should do this, or I don't like this, or I don't... How flexible are you? How much do you take the feedback, and how much do you just say, well, it's working, I'm going to pursue how I'm doing it?
It's a good question. I think feedback, unless it's constructive, if it's not constructive, don't really listen to it. You can take it into consideration. Maybe you can think to yourself, okay, why are they actually saying this stuff? Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you need to look for constructive feedback that adds towards the results of your product or service.
Exactly.
It's like, for example, if you're going to start an FBA business, Amazon FBA business, or private labeling or whatever it is, you want to sell X products, I will go into Amazon and I'll check all the different reviews in terms of what they've received. I'll go straight to 3-star, 2-star, okay? And I'll read the ones that are constructive, because that gives me an edge in terms of what I need to do to maybe outcompete my competitor. That's constructive. But if they're saying, oh, it was rubbish, I didn't like the packaging or something, maybe you could get something from that because of the packaging, but really and truly, what value are you going to get from that?
Okay.
So you need to have that thick skin from the get-go. You need to have that thick skin. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're being led by everything, then the problem is you start getting carried away. And the problem is with emotions, emotions change. They're not constant. Do you know what I mean? So you can't get carried away that way.
And do you think people actually know what they want? Because people will tell you what they want, but then they get it and they say they want something else. Like, look, we live in the UK. One day it's sunny, it's too hot. The next day it's raining. Do you understand? It's like we're always going to complain about something. So how do you operate as a business in a world where we're forever changing?
You have to go deep, in my opinion. So in my opinion, you need to be able to understand what you've experienced as an individual, okay? So you need to determine what you like as an individual, what you don't like as an individual. So you get a collection of experiences and then determine, okay, based on all this data, we're calling it data, what is it that I actually want to do, okay? Because there's a want and there's a need. So based on that, you need to decide, okay, what am I willing to compromise? If it makes you go, I don't really want to compromise that, you don't want it. You don't really want it. But if you're willing to compromise, that's a different story. Because it means at the end of the day that you truly want to go and attain that thing because it represents something for you as an individual.
No, that makes sense. But I just feel like with business, how much, when you start a business, how much money of your own should you put into your business, and how much should you borrow from the bank, or if you borrow from the bank?
That's a very good question. I don't have a concrete answer for that. All I can say to you is it comes down to what the market's doing already. You have to be a technician at understanding what the market is doing. That's why I say market research is gospel. Because let's say, for example, you're talking in front of investors. I don't talk in front of investors. A lot of what I do is based on bootstrap businesses, so services and X, Y, and Z. But let's say you are talking in front of an investor. One, they want to know that you have proof of concept with your minimum viable product. But two, they want to have evidence that you know what you're talking about. So have you actually gone in there and done this stuff, or have you read around the topic to know what it is? So coming back to that, you'll get an idea of what people are using, and therefore you can track back and see what people are spending. That gives you an idea. So I would say you need to think about what tools people are using, but you also need to look at how do I explain this? The journey that they went on in order to get to where they need to get to. Too many people focus on where that person is now. They need to track back. They need to do that and see, okay, this person did this, that, and that. How does that apply to me as an individual? So do you need to get a loan straight away? If you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't done a market research, no. Don't touch a loan. But if you have an idea, a strong idea, and there's evidence, and you've done proof of concept, i.e. you have a minimum viable product, then I would say you can float with a loan if you want to. That's your choice.
Definitely. And I think it goes back to what we were saying in the other video, is where do you start? For me, start by selling to 10 people. Start by getting the basic
viable products.
Make sure people actually want this. Get their feedback, and then build from then. I've got 10. Let me get 20. I've got 20. Let me get 40.
Yeah.
And build that way, and until you've got enough where you can then say, okay, now I'm ready for a shop, or now I'm ready for a bulk order.
So coming to this, how do you build? So what about those individuals? And I've been there before, where you've got your 10 clients, but then nothing happens after that. How do you use those clients?
Good question. I think for me, it's those clients. For me, is the biggest. People can talk about Instagram and all that, but word of mouth to me, still to today, is the biggest way for you to grow your business. Agree. Because people always want to know that someone else. We trust what other people have said, how other people have experienced it. That's why, like you said, with Amazon, you're going to go to the reviews and you're going to see them and you're going to say, well, look, these are 5-star. I now trust this product.
Yes.
If you go to it and there's only one review, how many times have you bought that product? You're not going to buy it. Reviews are so important. And so it's one of those things where when you can get somebody saying, I have experienced this, this was my experience, and this is my outcome afterwards, now you're ready to invest in that business or buy that product. And so I think what you do is you get those 10 and you get feedback from them. You tell them, what did you enjoy? What didn't you enjoy? What can I improve? Would you recommend me? Well, that's one of the number one questions I always ask people when they finish. When I finish the end of my service and I've done, would you recommend me to a friend? And if they say yes, then why haven't you? Or why are you going to? Do you know what I mean? Because if you said you would, do you know anyone that purpose? Fulfill that. If you know that. If you know that I'm doing this, I'm a small business, I'm trying to grow, you've enjoyed what I'm doing. If you think what I'm doing is good, support me by recommending. If you think it's not good enough for your friends, tell me why so I can improve.
I hope everyone's listening to this. All my friends, family members, and all you people who haven't supported, I'm joking. Or am I joking? I don't know. Do you know what? At the end of the day, I think that's right. You know, you start off your circle and you get those testimonials, you get those reviews.
What about friends though? Talk to me about friends and supporting business.
It depends. There are different types of friends.
Yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, like when did I start? So I started network marketing back in 2014, 2015.
You said the swear word.
Yeah, I did say the swear word. But I'm not afraid to just say it. You know, I tried all of that stuff. And for me, it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. Whether I was in the right industry or not, whatever. But the point being made is, it's almost like everyone's like, and then like, oh no, they turn around sort of thing. And you quickly realize that actually you don't have that support. But from that experience, I realized that, but why am I expecting their support anyway? You know, why should I expect? Don't get me wrong. You need no. You feel like you should. But if your business bangs, people will come to you.
Bro, I hear you, but why is it that strangers are so ready to support your business, but your friends don't want to support your business till it blows? And then even when I say they support it, they don't really support it. They just start telling everyone how they, we went to school together. E-man, I know E-man for time. My G, bro.
Do you know why? Because they have different expectations. That's all it is. So with your friends, they know you, or they feel they know you. So they've connotated all these different things attributed to you. So they say, I'm just going to try to get it for free, or, you know, they try to do this undercard thing. With somebody who doesn't know you, if you've branded yourself in the right way, you're basically saying to them, they need you. It's a different story. So this is why your personal brand or your business brand or whatever it is so crucial, because if you come across someone who is your ideal customer or who actually needs your service or feels like you can solve their problem, they're not even going to think about it. That's when your friends will start saying, I wish I actually invested or, you know, got involved earlier, X, Y, and Z.
But what about all this? So much people spend money on business cards, logos, stationery. They got staplers with their name on it. You ain't even made a pound yet.
You've lost a pound though.
How much, exactly, you've lost it. So how much money do you spend on your logo and your website? And because when I started with a landing page.
Okay, you don't even need that. I think you just need to go out there and get clients. You know, if I'm talking about true business, and don't get me wrong, I've married myself around all of that stuff before. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's about knowing what service and problem you're trying to solve and finding ways to get clients. Whether that's cold calling, emailing, networking, whatever it is. Facebook advertising, that's a different story because you have to get technical. But the point I'm making is find ways to actually sell. You have to find ways to get business. That's the most important thing. A business is not a charity. Business, in terms of a basic definition, is commercial activity. That means money's involved. and that means making money. So if you're not in a position where you feel like you can actually make money, you don't have a business, which is fine. You just need to work out how you can develop those skills, or pluck up the confidence and courage to sell. Yes. And sometimes selling isn't always selling. Yeah. Sometimes selling is just having a conversation with someone, literally just breaking the ice, talking about a holiday or talking about your day or whatever it is, realizing that you have something in common, and then realizing, actually, I can help you solve this problem. By asking the right sort of questions, you're unleaving certain pains that person has, and then saying, how about we have a consultation or meeting or whatever it is.
Mention the word pains. Talk about pain points. I don't think people understand what pain points are. Can you just explain what pain points are and how, for business, it's important to understand the pain points of your customer?
Like they say, if there's no pain, there's no gain. It's that simple. So if you know your customer's pains, inside out, the aim of the game is to make sure you use that information and knowledge and relay that back to your customer so you can create relatability. Once you create that relatability and glue, then what happens is they start trusting you, because they're like, oh, this person actually, understands me. They know I'm talking about X, Y, and Z. Then you start dropping those different sort of like ways to solve their problems. So knowing your customer's pains is important. Maybe pains is strong, but at the end of the day, when it comes to this niche, this is the thing they're thinking about all the time. So you need to be able to get inside of their head and understand what is the thing that worries them the most, and how can you, as a business, help them solve those problems. That's how I see pains, at least, anyway.
No, definitely, and that's what I always tell people, is that you need to understand the pains of your customer, and then make sure that your business is the solution to that pain. People hate pain, but constant pain, living with certain pains all the time. Once you can relieve them of that pain, why would they not come back to you?
What about the pain of not paying for a mentor or a coach or a facilitator, whatever it is? Because, do you know what? I want to come on to this, but what do you think is wrong or right with the black community right now when it comes to business?
What's wrong or right?
What's your observations?
For me, I think we're doing well. I agree. I look at businesses and I'm proud of the businesses that I interact with. We are becoming more professional. I can definitely see that especially black businesses, we are taking what we are experiencing in work and then removing that into our own business and carrying on. We're definitely getting better, especially when you go to seminars, and we are definitely becoming a lot more professional. We're definitely being better at our business. I think the pains and the issues, a lot of it comes to support. I know you talk about friends not having to do stuff, but even if they're not buying your product, to share a post on Instagram, to forward something in a WhatsApp group, these things are free. And it's one of those things where you've known me for so long. I've told you this is my business. I've asked you, listen, here's my product. You said, listen, it's lovely, but it's not for me. I understand that, but share it. It doesn't cost you anything. And the thing is, with a lot of other communities, when they have this grand opening, the place is packed. People, we don't even get that chance.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I definitely hear that. It's interesting you say all that stuff. I guess for me, what I recognize with the black community is that there's a lot of black businesses out there. I'd question whether they're actually businesses. I'm going to say there's a lot of black brands out there, and a lot of them sort of do well in terms of the social life because of the popularity thing, and I can't knock that. It's a good thing, because if they've been able to generate those relationships in the right way, then that's good on them. But I feel like a lot of things are for show, a lot of things are for show, and the problem is we're not necessarily developing executionists or real experts.
Talk to me about for sure. What do you mean? Give me an example.
So for example, having a really good Instagram page doesn't mean you have a business.
Ooh, preaching.
There's way too many people who basically call themselves entrepreneur on Instagram, when really and truly all they've done is click the entrepreneur option and then put a few sort of entrepreneurial posts to say they're an entrepreneur. But they wouldn't even understand how to start a business, if it hit them in the face. But at the same time, I guess the whole show thing is, I feel like people are really, really good at making things look nice.
Yes. But isn't that the start of business? So if you've got a good following and people are into your brand and they like your pictures and like your posts, isn't it just a funnel then for you to then say, now I've got this attention, I've got my brand awareness. Now I need to funnel this into sales. Isn't that
that could work. You know, there are some people where that works really well. Don't get me wrong, it works really well. But for the majority, based on statistics, let's use Instagram as an example because it sounds like we're talking about that. It is the lowest converting when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
And the problem is, like I said from the beginning, business is commercial activity.
Yeah.
So focus on getting sales. Focus on getting that from the get-go.
Yeah.
Some people may argue, well, don't you have to build a brand at the beginning? No, you're not necessarily. You don't have to necessarily do that. You know, you need to work out how you can actually get business, you know. And if it's proven to you, based on your market or whatever else, that Instagram is the way to do that, then focus on that. But there are a lot of these people who don't actually have a real funnel.
Okay.
They don't have a real funnel. All they have is, I don't know, their Instagram page, then they have a link me with bare different options.
Yeah.
They click on one of those options and then like sign up to my newsletter with no real plan.
Yeah. But isn't that the game? The game is the more people you get, the more data you have, the more businesses will pay to get access to that data or get access to that pool. The more you can prove you have this following.
Of course. But I guess what I would say to that is, how are you proving to them that you can actually solve their problem? You know, how have you proved that? Really and truly. Because if you're not experiencing the business yourself, then you're not really creating evidence. All you're doing is creating a page of really nice pictures. That's all it is, you know. But don't get me wrong, I do think it's important. I'm not knocking it completely. I'm just saying there's a group of people, not just in the community, just in general, where it's for show.
Yeah.
And it's for show for years. It's been for show for years, and they're not actually doing anything. But there's this buzz, and nobody actually knows what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
They've been able to play that game.
I hear you.
And I think that's a dangerous game to play, but it's down to those people, innit?
Definitely. So what's your last 3 tips for someone starting a business? What are we saying? What is the main 3 things, 4 things, whatever it may be, that they need to think about when starting a business?
I think the number one thing for me is focus on solving a huge problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think the second thing is really understand the market. So model success. If you're not able to model success, you're going to be wasting your time.
Yeah.
I think the third thing is making sure that you commit to a cause. You know, if you're not willing to commit to the cause, give up and do something else. Stop wasting people's time, including yourself.
Yeah.
But if you are willing to commit to a cause, then go hard, man. Learn from your lessons. Like, do everything you can to navigate to that Northern Star.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 tips. What about you?
I agree with everything you said, so I'm going to try and say stuff different. I think, number 1, get out of your own way.
I love it. Yeah.
Number 2, don't let fear stop you. Because I always use the Michael Jordan when he talked about how many misses he did. Yeah, we class him as the GOAT, the best ever.
It's true.
But he missed so many shots during his career. And so, but if he never took a shot, he missed
It's
anyway.
true, it's true. Yeah, he just missed anyway. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where don't let fear stop you from starting. And then 3, know where to start easy. Carry on working,
I like that.
do it in the evening, weekends.
Yeah.
As you build up, then go part-time. As you build up again, then go full-time. Don't just say, listen, I hate my job, I'm out. Do you know what I mean? I think those are the 3 things I can tell people.
I like that. Let's end it there, man.
Definitely.
Cool.